Hello, I'm Matt Samsel. King County provides regional services to millions of people every day, like transportation, the court system, and public health. And at King County, we're always at your service. It's no secret that housing is pricey in our area, but the Committee to End Homelessness and its partners has been able to help more than 1,200 military vets find affordable housing. There are many more who need help.
I've been homeless now for 3 years.
I'm living on my friend's couch as it stands, which legally means I'm not homeless anymore.
The stories are sad and similar. Military veterans who've served their country but can't find housing when they leave the service.
Before, when you wanted to find, there was plenty of affordable houses, and I'm talking houses in Seattle. You used to be able to hop in your car on a Sunday afternoon and drive through a neighborhood and find some place that was for rent.
But things have changed, and many vets have become victims of the soaring housing market.
You have to prove documentation on proof of income, credit score.
But you need 3 years of rental history, and I'm 24. I moved out of my mom's house at 19, and I haven't officially lived any place except for my ship since I was 20.
Dismissed!
But an initiative called Operation Welcome Home is designed to open doors. Launched at the Broadway Performance Center, speakers stressed partnerships.
I see representatives from cities, counties, state, private sector, and that is so important because if we are truly committed to ending veteran homelessness, we have to support this at every level.
They're also reaching out to private landlords, with funding support from King County's voter-approved Veterans and Human Services Levy.
By voting to tax themselves, our residents have raised over $7 million a year dedicated to helping veterans, military personnel, and their families.
I want to particularly challenge my folks in the rental area to partner with us. In a county this size, in a city this size, creating the number of units that we're creating, we together can find those 220 units, and tomorrow night there doesn't need to be a single homeless veteran in this county.
I'm hoping that landlords will step up and make it available for veterans.
Landlords can find out more by calling 206-336-4616.
Did you know that the most spoken language besides English in King County is Chinese? Voting materials are already being printed in Chinese and Vietnamese here, and as Tim OLeary tells us, soon they'll be in other languages as well.
King County is one of the fastest growing regions in the country. People come here from all over the world to live and work. And for many, English is a second language. In fact, 1/4 of county residents speak a language other than English at home. It can create barriers and keep people from participating in our government in key ways, like at the ballot box. It was 1965, more than 50 years ago, that President Lyndon Johnson signed the Voting Rights Act into law. It removed legal barriers that prevented African Americans from exercising their right to vote. It also requires jurisdictions to provide language assistance to voters if more than 10,000 members of voting-age citizens do not speak or understand English.
Voting is fundamental to our nation's well-being, and I mean that's really what we're about. So if we have artificial barriers up that prevent people from fully participating, to the extent we can reduce or eliminate those, we'll have more people participating in our community, and that's a good thing.
King County leaders are expanding access. They passed a new law to give more people voting materials in their native language.
The legislation that we just adopted calls for expanding translation of our voting materials from Chinese and Vietnamese, which is what we do today, to include Spanish and Korean by the general election of 2016.
The numbers definitely prove it's there and the need is there, and so it's just so exciting to see this legislation passing.
Under the new law, voting registration materials will be available at county offices.
기분이 어때요?
Very, very 좋아요.
Very, very wonderful. Very, very wonderful.
Do you have a pet? How about a neighbor with a pet that gets out a lot? Well, meet the team that looks out for stray pets. In fact, they handle everything from snakes to kittens in King County.
We're gonna go check up on a brown horse that a citizen called in saying it had a hurt leg, but they hadn't been out near that property in a month. So a status check or a welfare check on the animal's leg or its general health. And we'll check the living conditions of the animal as well. AC 44, I'm arrived. Hey fella, you're pretty handsome there, mister. Your horse looks fine. Somebody called and said there was a horse with a hurt leg, and he looks like he's in great shape.
They feed him every night.
I was gonna say, he looks like a good weight, and I saw him walk. He looks fine. He's friendly, he just comes right out to you.
Yeah, you can holler and he'll come running.
Or even his feet look like they've been trimmed good. Sorry to bother you then.
Oh, I ain't bothering you.
Horse was pretty friendly, comes right up to you. He was at a really good weight, and he was not injured.
Regional Animal Services of King County. This is Debbie. How may I help you? Okay, so you're calling because there's a horse that's hurt on the back leg. Okay, so I'm going to enter this in as an investigation welfare check, and Officer Nicholson is working in that area, so he'll be coming out to investigate. Thank you.
I'm arrived now.
This is Opus.
Hi, Opus.
He doesn't want to go back to his home.
That's the horse.
He was in the horse trailer.
Oh.
We had 2 horses in the trailer. We had to stop rather suddenly. And one horse
knocked
forward and kicked the other one. Told to leave it open, let it breathe, keep an eye on it, and I pull him in every night, give him his grain and check on it. And
okay.
Since the weather's warming up, the flies are coming out, so I've been putting the anti-fly powder on it.
Gotcha. All right, Mr. Irving, thank you very much. Have a good day. You bet. The wound was treated. It had some fly powder on it as well, so I'll be contacting his vet after I get back to find out that everything's fine, the horse is good.
We respond to everything from, dog bites to animal cruelty complaints. Our biggest call is probably stray dogs running loose.
Happy dog, huh? Honey. Jump out of there, aren't you?
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Dog here.
Awesome, thanks a lot.
I got a license on him, so they get a free ride home.
All right.
All right, you have a good day.
All right, thanks a lot, man.
Bye-bye.
Ah, they found you. Yeah.
How'd it go today?
Good.
Hey, all right, good job, man. Yeah. So, yeah. Long day, right? You can go home now already.
Got finicky eaters at home? Well, here's an idea. A local cooking class held in a pretty surprising place, a public health clinic.
How do you get a kid to eat healthy food? Well, how about a cooking and tasting class?
So today, our recipe is going to be with whole grain tortillas.
We offer WIC classes here at Kent Public Health twice a day, and the idea is that we're showing families how to make something simple utilizing the WIC foods that they can purchase with their WIC vouchers.
WIC is the Women, Infants, and Children's Nutrition Program. Monthly vouchers for milk, grains, fruits, and veggies. What can you make with them?
Most kids love pizza, right? And it's kind of hard sometimes to get them to get those fruits and veggies in. So this is a way of getting them to get those fruits and veggies in. The ingredients today, your tortillas, Italian seasoning, tomatoes, which you can get with your WIC checks, tomato paste, and mozzarella cheese, which you also can get with your WIC checks. Get started. So we're gonna spread the tomato paste, and we use the tomato paste instead of a sauce because it's thicker and it's easier to work with. So me being a mom, when I think of feeding my kids, of course I want them to eat healthy. With kids, They want quick. When they're hungry, they want to eat now. And this is one of those meals that's fun at like maybe a birthday party or a slumber party, because you can put all the toppings out, add the tortillas and let them make their own pizzas. So here we go. Smells good.
I don't grow up with this recipe, so I don't really know how to cook much for kids, and it's just the first kid, and I really need to learn to cook for them, eat healthy. So it's really helpful for me.
And what do the kids think?
Do you like the pizza?
So these are quick things you can do with your WIC foods. You think this is something you can do at home? Excited about doing at home? All right, yay!
To find out more, visit kingcounty.gov/health/WIC.
It's important to preserve the past, and it's even better if you can preserve it and make it useful. If you've ever driven out to Duvall, you may have noticed the beautiful old Thayer Barn. You'll be glad to know the old barn will be part of the future. Jeff Gentis has more.
The Snoqualmie River Valley is one of the prettiest stretches of landscape in King County. It has some of the best farmland in the state, and some of the best old barns still standing. One barn is on its last legs, for now.
It's the last of this style of barn left in the city of Duvall. This was a Sears kit barn in the 1930s, so it's an 80-year-old building. This whole valley, and Duvall in particular, is pretty much an art community. This property was deeded into the city limits, and in that process, it was given to those people as a future community arts center.
This is the old Thayer Barn in Duvall. In its heyday, it was one of the biggest dairy operations in the county. While this barn quietly slumped into old age and disuse, the Duvall Foundation for the Arts was hard at work to save it.
We've held on to that for this long, and we think finally we're going to be able to do something.
Now time has more than taken its toll, and the barn has crumbled under its own weight. It can't be restored as originally planned, but the best parts can be preserved and reused in the new facility.
We were always going to preserve the upper story, which is the Gothic shape and the roof. We're going to take it apart and keep what we can and then put it back inside of the zone-friendly building.
On a cold winter's day, a group of local townspeople came together to pay their last respects before the barn's disassembly. The ceremony was spontaneous, from mystical to heartfelt.
The barn is an opportunity for choreographers, dancers, visual artists, sound artists, composers to do different things, opportunity to have a unique space.
Having a background in theater, I think it's great to have a space that's local to do performances in. It's an opportunity for people of all kinds to be able to
share ideas.
Yeah.
Certainly I've made really special friends through this journey so far. And I hope that we have this spirit in the new facility of friendship and future.
Now, the Thayer Barn is a work of art in progress. The best of what comes down will be lovingly resurrected in the coming years, not far from its original site.
Hope is a wonderful thing. We hoped it would happen many years ago. It didn't, and when it came back with this new developer that we could possibly go forward and do this for the valley and the community, you know, it just kind of brought us all back to life.
The new Community Arts Center will be the perfect place for creative light, music, and most of all, community.
Thanks for watching King County at your service. I'm Matt Samsel. If we can be of service to you, visit us online at www.kingcounty.gov/KCTV. We'll see you next time.